U16 Manitoba. Good evening, football fans. Watching from across the country, Mike Still and Tyler Fabry, pleased to be joining you here for the second game of action here at the U16 Western Challenge hosted by Football Manitoba. Earlier today, Team Alberta came out on top against Team BC, and so the winner of this matchup in the nightcap will take on Alberta for the gold medal in the Western Challenge. Saskatchewan, Tyler, comes into this contest as the four-time defending champions, most recently defeating Alberta 18-15 in last year's tournament. And they have been the standard at this level. I mean, they've been the standard at the U18 level as well, but certainly we've seen some very impressive performances from these athletes over the years.
Yeah, the entire province of Saskatchewan, top to bottom, is coached and taught extremely well. These guys run the same systems from junior varsity to university through junior. It is a very similar system from their defense to their offense. They will run it and run it and run it over again, and these kids are so well coached at these programs that they can come into these national tournaments and Western challenges and just dominate. As you said there, Mike, four-time defending under 16 Western Challenge champions here from Team Saskatchewan.
Standing in Saskatchewan's way is the host Manitoba, and I talked to a lot of the coaches on staff, members of the football community, and the buzz is high, Tyler, about this particular group coming up against Saskatchewan. This is a big, strong, physical group, and they can move and move well, and it's going to start at the quarterback position for Team Manitoba. Blake Dagg, you know him well, coach at Oak Park. He's rising up through the ranks there with the Oak Park Raiders program, and it's going to start with his mobility and athleticism offensively for Team Toba, coached by Chris Blagden, the head coach of the Vincent Massey Trojans program in Winnipeg. And Blagden has been a longtime supporter of the provincial team programs, longtime coach, and that's important too. The consistency, Tyler, that we've seen from Manitoba and these coaching staffs have really been making a difference.
Yeah, exactly. Football Manitoba is essentially trying to follow suit in what Football Saskatchewan has done as being the top of the class when it comes to these national programs and running that consistency, having those same coaches, running those same systems coming down from that Manitoba Bison's program into these junior and high school programs and this under 16, under 18, under 17 teams. You love to see that kind of stuff. Listen, Blake Dagg, I call this kid future for a reason. He is special. We'll see what this young man can do here this afternoon. He's going to get the ball right out the gate. His favorite target is number 11.
AJ
Bangura, quote unquote, could be the next Nick Dembski. We'll see what happens here. He is going to be back to return. The Oak Park duo of Blake Dagg to AJ Bangura is going to be something to watch this afternoon. We'll see what happens here once this opening kickoff.
Fans from across the country, you're not going to be disappointed watching guys like that. Bangura and Dagg from Manitoba. Saskatchewan's got a whole lot of dogs. They got players from 23 different programs on their roster. Manitoba's got players from 16, and we are off here in Game 2 of the U16 Western Challenge. AJ Bangura takes it up to the 35, and the energy, Tyler, it's high. Both teams loving it. Good return from Manitoba as they set up at their own 35.
Absolutely love to see it. Good opening kickoff. Deep, nicely done job by the Saskatchewan Special Teams unit. The aforementioned AJ Bangura filling that ball cleanly in the air, taking that upfield. Going to be scrimmaging right hash 35-yard line, 1st and 10. First look at this Manitoba offensive line. Big boys. Very, very big boys. That right side is massive.
It's going to be Blake Dagg with Shea Kiasi single back in the backfield from Murdoch.
30.
And that first play, nothing doing for Manitoba. Multiple players in to make the stuff. Brighton Cress in there. A few different Saskatchewan players setting up 2nd and long for Team Manitoba.
Yeah, 30 defense look from Saskatchewan on that play. A little bit of confusion up front for that Manitoba offensive unit as they were kind of trying to figure out who they needed to pick up and where. Going to result here in a bit of an injury as number 44, I believe, for Saskatchewan is down on a knee being tended to by the athletic therapy staff. He's up kind of hobbling on one leg. He's looking to get some assistance here. But yeah, great start there by Team Saskatchewan to get the stop, limiting that inside zone carry to only about a yard.
It's a thunder and lightning backfield for Manitoba. You're going to have Malik Willian of Oak Park, number 32, as well as Michel Onafora, number 13. For any Manitoba fans watching, unfortunately, they did not provide their phonetic rosters, so we were making some guesses about some of those. Apologies for any butchers of names. Again, there was no phonetic pronunciations provided by the host.
We will do our best, everybody. That is all we can do up here.
As once again, Blake Dagg in the pistol formation for Manitoba.
Pressure look here completely across the board from Saskatchewan.
Trips to the far side. Dagg feels that pressure, and he can't get away. Full-on pressure from Saskatchewan, and they get in for the sack. And you called it, Tyler. It was a pressure look, and the speed of Saskatchewan. From number 41, Malik King coming in to make that tackle. 2 and out for Manitoba.
Yeah, we're going to see it on the replay here. Saskatchewan hides absolutely nothing. They put 7 on the line of scrimmage, put their 5 defensive backs on one plane, playing clearly a cover 0 look. Ball's got to get out in a hurry. Unfortunately, Dagg was not able to do so. It's going to be a punt, 2 and out situation here for the Manitoba Bison's offense on that first possession. Yeah, I mean, you got to get the ball out of your hands there if you're the quarterback, but we'll see it's a tough adjustment right off the first snap there.
Certainly Saskatchewan with that pressure look, and that's something you can expect. They do that. That's what Saskatchewan
100%.
does. They run a lot of blitzes at these tournaments, and they've got a lot of great athletes with a lot of speed, and that's how they make their bread and butter. As there's space to the outside, that's number 21 now cutting it back inside, upfield. Rhett Mikituk up inside the 40-yard line of Manitoba, as he found space on the far side, got a couple good blocks, and Saskatchewan set up with ideal field position thanks to the Riffle Royals product, Rhett Mikituk.
Yeah, great job there by Mikituk to just get north and south after that punt kind of rolled, bounced a little bit, got it on the run. Good job of possessing that football, doing a really good job of setting up his blocks, getting downfield, setting his team up inside the Manitoba 40-yard line for the first possession of this game.
First look at Xavier Gattin, the quarterback under the Riffle Royals program, and he's going to hand it off. Space, still on his feet, trying to hold on by the ankles was number 58 for Manitoba, Noden Moore, as Lucas Hawley on the Walter Murray Marauders takes that one for a solid first down carry, and he's got great size, Tyler, at 5'9", 180 on a Saskatoon.
That's a fantastic good look for that running back there. Great tackle by Moore, as you'll see it on the replay. Just gets enough. So 58 was unable to make that play. There could have been a whole lot more real estate on the ground there for Saskatchewan. Going to limit that to only about 1. It's going to be 2nd and 9 here.
Gattin with the single back. He's going to fake the handoff. Room to the outside, looking to cut it up. Past that Manitoba defense is number 80, Aiden Yildiz. And that's going to be a first down for Saskatchewan. And again, these are things that if you have watched amateur football in this province, if you've watched the Western Challenge or the Canada Cup U18s, this is what Saskatchewan does. Defensively, they're fast, they're athletic, they're going to pressure you, they're going to blitz, and on offense, they're going to run a lot of those mesh concepts. And you saw that just now. A lot of speed, a lot of swing routes, all that. It's all in the playbook. They have very fast, athletic receivers all across the board.
Yeah, just get the ball out of your hands into your playmakers in space. It's always a great offensive philosophy when you do that. We're going to go under center, outside zone play. Great job up front. Good bully ball run for about 8, maybe 9 yards there by number 33 for Team Saskatchewan.
Ashton Humfan, 5'9", 210. And there's a lot of guys on this roster that are listed on Saskatoon minor football. They have incredible programs there, such as the Institute, which was recently created, the Institute of Saskatchewan Football, which provides exceptional leadership opportunities, learning and growth, and also an opportunity to play year-round football and learn those systems, as you talked about before, Tyler. Brian Giebert does a great job there helping lead those programs. Wide open, first down, and then some, and that's going to be a touchdown for Team Saskatchewan.
16.
That's Dylan Ward, 6'2", out of Moose Jaw Central. Shout out to the Cyclones. Saskatchewan takes the lead.
This is an absolutely picturesque whip or bang route back to the sidelines here, as we'll get a good look on the replay. Going to be the single receiver out to that side, stem the inside, put your foot in the ground, get outside. No help out there for the corner from Manitoba. Does all he can do. Great ball placement, phenomenal route. 6-0, pending the extra point here for Saskatchewan. 2-out on defense, and they march that ball and march it down the throat of Manitoba. 7-0 early here. 8:06 remaining in the first quarter.
Sask doing what they do. They establish the run, and then they're able to get that RPO going, keep the defense on the edge of keep the defense guessing, and then capitalized on it there. And I just want to make mention, Aiden Yildiz, who had that completion there on the swing to the outside, really reminds me of Daniel Weeb out of the Saskatchewan Huskies program. Similar size, and again, said it right off the hop. These are fast, athletic receivers that when they're given the chance in space to make plays, that's when they're very dangerous. And again, you're going to see a lot of those mesh concepts, a lot of opportunities to give those receivers chances in space, but that doesn't happen unless you establish the run early, and that is what Saskatchewan is already doing, Tyler.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a picturesque first drive, Mike. Just a good balance of run, pass, that RPO look, getting the ball out early into the flats, into your playmaker's hands, turn it into a punt return, let them get out into space. We'll see if Bangura can bust something open here for Manitoba.
Bangura breaks away from the first defender, stays on his feet. Another pretty solid return for AJ Bangura up to the 32 of Manitoba. Will take possession there. First possession was a 2-and-out. Blake Dagg felt pressure, was sacked on second down by Malik King on a Moose Jaw Central.
Yeah, we'll see what head coach and offensive coordinator Chris Blagden has in stock here for this second possession of the football game. Like to see get Blake Dagg into that RPO-style offense. Let him have that run-pass option. He has good mobility. Let him read that defensive end and see what he's going to do. We'll see what the adjustments are made to that 30 defense as well for that Manitoba offensive line.
Pistol formation once again for Dagg. He's going to get it to his to the outside to Shea Kiasi. He breaks away from one player. Solid gain on first down, and we're going to be calling that name a lot. Shea Kiasi, the brother of Shad Kiasi, standout, now back on the roster, DB for the Manitoba Bisons. He's very athletic, great speed, exceptional abilities with the ball in the air as well. Multi-sport standout. He's been on the provincial team previously as well, so he brings that experience. Great play call there early from this Manitoba offensive coaching staff.
Yeah, as I said, for Saskatchewan, get the ball out into your playmaker's hands, turn it into a punt return. Just a swing screen to the number 3 receiver. Got it out early, got 7 yards. See if they can convert.
Dagg on second down. That one's batted up in the air. Incomplete. Getting his big mitts on it was Eddie McCrory, is Lincoln Lillejord out of the Weyburn Eagles program.
Great job by that defensive unit, as you said there, Mike. We'll get a good look here on the replay. You can't get there, get your hands up, and 47 does exactly that. Fortunate for Manitoba, that ball does fall to the ground, and it's going to be another 2-and-out punt situation here. Potential fake territory. We'll see what Coach Hudson Barabo, special teams coordinator Hudson Barabo, does here. I imagine they'll probably just punt this one away and kind of set it up, but better production there by the Manitoba offense. Defense is going to have to get a stop here.
Kieran McCullough is the one returner back for Saskatchewan. That one booted away by big number 84, Hunter Tursky, who stands in at 6'5", 218.
No yards.
No yards is going to be called on Manitoba. Saskatchewan coming out for their second offensive possession, like a well-oiled machine, getting on the board.
Always are. That whole province, top to bottom, high school, between the 2 junior programs with the Hilltops and the Thunder, and then the 2 university programs with the Huskies and the Rams, all so well coached, so well educated, such high football IQs all the way from the ground up. We'll see what they have in store here for the second possession.
Certainly extremely well-run PSOs with Saskatoon and Regina Minor football, as that one is fake and a first down. Moving the chains, second catch of the game for Aiden Yildiz, as the RPO works for Team Saskatchewan, and you're going to see that pretty often, Tyler.
Yeah, just a good timing out there, off coverage from the weak side halfback for Manitoba. Good job done by the slot receiver for Saskatchewan, just doing that sit-down missed tackle there, going to result in about 5 or 6 additional yards, going to move the change here. Saskatchewan going to go under center for the second time in this football game.
Gatton under center, as you mentioned. Handoff, cut up the middle for a gain of about 6. Lucas Hawley with solid yards on first down.
This is the production Saskatchewan is looking for. This is what they need. 6, 7, 8, 9 yards on first down. Second and short, second and manageable. Methodically moving the ball. Manitoba needs a stop here if they want to keep this football game in hand early.
Gatton, single back is Ashton Humfan. Humfan's going to get it on the misdirection. First down, Team Saskatchewan. Cutting and jiving upfield for about 10 yards, as we've seen. Humfan as well as Lucas Hawley both making big plays on the ground early for Saskatchewan. 2 early receptions as well for Aylin Yildiz, as this offense is buzzing early.
Yeah, definitely a misdirection look in the backfield. Going to result in essentially a counter look up front. Great job by the big boys of that Saskatchewan offensive line. Moving bodies, creating holes, moving the chains.
Gatton's going to fake the handoff, roll to his right. He's looking for a receiver, and he's got him. Great catch by Brinley Dice. Coverage was tight, but Dice, exceptional concentration, and his hands were like Spider-Man on that one, hauling in the first down reception.
That was a phenomenal catch by Dice in space. All hands, full speed, great ball placement there by Gatton. By Gatton on that rollout play. Really, really well done catch by Dice. Going to be a first and goal or first and 10 situation here for Saskatchewan about the 13-yard line.
Gatton with Humfan in the pistol. And Humfan's going to cut it upfield once again, just going straight up the gut. He's going to get that one down inside the 10-yard line. That's going to set up about a 2nd and 5 here for Saskatchewan. They can get a first down at about the 2-yard line.
Once again, though, production on first down is the name of the game for the Saskatchewan offense. If you can get 6, 7, 8 yards of carry or a pass, on first down, you're setting yourself up for success. Second and manageable is exactly where you want to be.
Gatton fakes the handoff, tried to swing it out. He was looking for Humfan there, but good job snuffing that out by Manitoba. That was Mikhail Gagnon. Following that play, and it's been ran a few different times already by Saskatchewan on that RPO misdirection, and that time Manitoba said no thank you.
Yeah, and Saskatchewan's coaching staff had absolutely zero hesitation. Didn't even look to the specialist unit. It is a third down gamble. Big play here, both sides of the football.
Gatton, the single back is Humfan. He's going to fake the handoff, roll to his right. He's got a man in his face. What a ball and what a grab. Touchdown, Saskatchewan. That one was caught by Parker Thompson. What a throw by Gatton. He had a man all up in his business. Almost sidearmed that. Confidently found his receiver for the major.
I need to see this one again. My goodness, Gatton, what a play. As you said, 2, 3 defenders in the line of sight. Somehow able to see his receiver there in Parker Thompson, kind of floating against the grain as his first 2 reads were not there. What a play by the pivot from Saskatchewan.
Xavier Gatton showing what he can do on the run. We saw Alberta as well doing that in their contest with their 2 mobile pivots, and Davin Banke-Babona as well as Bastian Pascal, and Saskatchewan showing that same multi-threat capability with Xavier Gatton. 2 drives, 2 scores for Team Saskatchewan.
Picture perfect drive, like methodically move the ball down the field. This is a perfect start for Team Saskatchewan. First drive, 2 and out on defense, touchdown. 2 and out on defense, touchdown. Like, you cannot write this up any better if you're a fan of the province of Saskatchewan and this football team right now. This is a fantastic start. Big offensive series here coming for Manitoba. At the very least, Mike, I said it a lot in that first game when it came to Team BC. Got to get a first down, got to flip the field here.
Couldn't agree with you more, Tyler. And this game is going to be won and lost at the line of scrimmage. And so far, it is Saskatchewan that is dictating play both on offense and defense at the LOS. Manitoba will look for an answer. Bangura and Kiasi are back to return this kick. It's going to be Bangura from his own 15. Cuts it upfield. Good return again by Bangura up to the 35. Manitoba looks to find the answer on drive number 3. Blake Dagg leads out the troops.
Let's see what the play call is here. I still think we got to get Blake Dagg in that RPO look, get him out on the edge, let him make a decision with his feet or his arm, move that pocket a little bit, kind of settle everything down with that offensive line. We'll see what offensive coordinator, head coach Chris Blagden has in store for this possession. They're going to come out 2 receivers to the right, 3 receivers to the wide side left.
Once again, a 30 front here from Team Saskatchewan. It's going to be a fly sweep to Kiasi. Oh. What a stiff arm. Gets away from the second man. Shea Kiasi says not today. And so far, Tyler, it's been Kiasi that's been the difference maker for Team Manitoba on that screen pass and now the fly sweep.
That was unbelievable by Nikasi to make that play because the free safety in Hugh Ross was coming downhill with absolute authority. You'll see him coming in from the left side of the screen. Nikasi said, "Get out my grill," and just pushes him straight to the ground. Gets about 6. Going to be 2nd and 4.5, close to 5 here for Team Manitoba. Like I said, Mike, got to get the ball past the chains for a first down here. We'll see what Dagg's got in store. Blitz look here from Saskatchewan.
Dagg gets away from pressure for 1 second. Close to the first down marker. Looks like he'll be a yard short. Maybe a yard and a half. The fact that he was able to evade that pressure, impressive on its own, but he's known for that. He is an extremely mobile quarterback, and if Saskatchewan is going to keep bringing pressure, of course this coaching staff from Toba is going to make the adjustments needed. Well, it's going to be a chess match. So far, Saskatchewan is winning that matchup.
Always is. Fantastic job there by Dagg to just get what he can, get as close as he can to that first down. We'll see what the play call here is on 3rd and 1. Looks like, they're going to stay in just their regular 5R offense here. It's going to be that pressure look. 6 up on the line of the scrimmage at the moment with a rover. Probably going to be a spy on Dagg. We'll see what the play call is here for Manitoba.
Dagg on the 3rd and 1. He's going to hand it off to Onafora. That's a first down, Manitoba. Stuffed afterwards by number 54, Wyatt Senek, but not until yards were gained. Onafora pushes forward for the fresh set. And this is a dangerous backfield as well for Team Manitoba. The Thunder and Lightning combination with Onafora as well as Malik Willie. Willie is the Thunder, Onafora is the Lightning, according to head coach Chris Blagden. Both capable of turning any run into a big play using their distinct styles. We'll keep an eye on it. First down, Manitoba from the 49 of their 49. Dagg. Pistol formation. Again, it's Kiasi on the screen. And again, Kiasi has a first down for Manitoba. 3 big plays from Shea.
Fantastic job by Dagg here at the quarterback position for Manitoba. It is an inside zone RPO. That's the play call. But if they are outnumbered to the field side, to that wide receiver screen, it says, well, they only got 2 defenders. We got 3 offensive guys. I'm going to get the ball out to Shea. Let my boy do work and move those chains. First down, Manitoba.
Shea Kiasi has been the difference maker offensively so far for Manitoba, keeping it simple. Get the hands in your playmakers. Let them do work. Manitoba's got a pretty good size in terms of that offensive line as well, and getting some extra blocking in from those wrecks. Handoff right up the middle. Solid gain again on first down from the Lightning back. That is Michel Onafora. about 8 yards, and this Manitoba offense is gaining confidence. And Tyler, that first quarter just breezed by.
I was almost in disbelief as the referee blew his whistle and waved the flag around to indicate that was the end of quarter one. Manitoba is on the move on this possession. They're starting to get into rhythm. It takes a few minutes normally for the offense to figure it out in these kind of tournaments, right? But Blake Dagg and that offense with a mixture of those 3 running backs and the Cassie out at receiver has been doing work. Have not thrown the ball up to AJ Bangura just yet. Look for that to come here on this possession. Maybe try to get him on that deep corner route in behind coverage. We'll see what the play call is here. It's going to be second and short, about 3.5 yards here coming out of the quarter break.
Good blocking up front. This is a very hardworking group up front, very intelligent, can adjust the defenses really quickly. The starting center for the Team Manitoba group is out of my alma mater, out of Grant Park High School. That's Kobe Canicula, and an interesting story on him. He's going to be the starting center for the Grant Park varsity program. Head coach Doug Kovacs described him as well. All-star wrestler, won the varsity off-season training comp to make that varsity team as the starting center. He also gets marks in the 80s, has 2 brothers, so a high-achieving family as well. Both his mom as well, a huge supporter of the program. So absolutely a star in the making there at the center position, Kobe Canicula. But it's a big offensive line overall for Manitoba. We'll talk more about that group, and I know you'll show them some love, Tyler, as this game goes along. This is Dagg once again in the pistol. He's going to fake the handoff. He's got a man on the swing route there. First down and then some. Big gain, Everett Houlihan. Using his speed to move the chains.
Just a bit of a play action, almost a split zone look with that whiff block coming from Houlihan. As you mentioned there, the Oak Park product, you'll see him moving from the left to right, I guess, on the screen there as we get the replay. Great job there by Dagg, letting that route clear and getting the ball into his playmaker's hands. Going to be a first down here for Manitoba, creeping the red zone at about the 21-yard line.
Houlihan and Dagg, 2 of the 8 Oak Park Raiders on this roster. That's the most of any program for Team Manitoba, with 16 programs total represented. Miscommunication. Dagg gets away from initial pressure, and now he's just going to toss it into the stands. That one was tough, as it looked like the running back there on that one fell over on the play, and then from that point on, you're just trying to not lose yards.
Yeah, 100%, Mike. Exactly what happened. It looked like it was going to be a bit of a counter setup for the Manitoba offensive line with a couple of pullers. Unfortunately, the running back slipped as he was trying to make his cut back against the grain. Good job there by Dagg, just recognizing as you get a good look here on the replay. Going to get that fly motion, going to get a puller, and then there you go. You see the running back take a tumble. Good job there by Dagg to just get what he can, throw the ball away. Live to see another day. Going to be second down and 10 here as the officials are having a conversation about something, though.
Subbing in for Manitoba, number 47, Eddie McCreary. Penalty on Manitoba.
Number 6.
Shea Kiasi took the penalty.
You are for hands to the face, so that is not an ideal situation. It's going to be first and 25 here for the Manitoba offense.
We'll see if Team Toba tries to get the ball into the hands of AJ Bangura. Such a great connection with Blake Dagg. Those guys both won a provincial championship at the Pee Wee level with the St. James Rods. They dominated teams.
Absolutely.
They've got that fantastic chemistry. Dagg is going to throw it here.
Screen.
He's tried to find on a 4 there, but that one goes incomplete.
Yeah, just a kind of a prototypical play call there in first and a mile. Screen draw is going to be a safe play call in that situation. I don't hate the setup. I like the execution. Good job there by the entirety of that Saskatchewan defense to sniff that one out and shut it down before it even started.
Second and an area code here for Manitoba. Tyler, what would you call on this play?
Screen draw has already been taken care of. Oh, it's third.
I guess they lost.
It was definitely first down before, but now it's 3rd and 25. Which
I think they just
result in a punting situation here. I think the
chains.
Yeah,
I think the chains are wrong.
So
anyways,
it's 2nd and a mile. I would just throw it up and hope for PI. Oh, it's going to be a quick kick.
That one is fielded by Hugh Ross. Takes it and breaks away from first contact. And that could have been a touchdown saving tackle by Xavier Malabar. But how about the moves by Hugh Ross? He got the ball in his hands, Tyler, and he knew what to do with it.
Okay, so we were incorrect. It was 3rd and 25. So the play call obviously is to snap it to the quarterback and punt it out of a regular ace formation there with 5 receivers. But yeah, great job there by Ross to catch that ball in the air. And boy, oh boy, did he have a lot of real estate if he wasn't tackled there by Malabar.
2 drives, 2 touchdowns for Sask already in this game. They'll look to go 3 for 3 as they've got a quarterback switch. Under center and a handoff. Good space and a first down and more. Still on his feet. That is Lucas Hawley all the way into Manitoba territory to the 44-yard line. The 5'9", 180-pounder under the Walter Murray Marauders, and there was some exceptional blocking from the big boys up front on that play.
Absolutely, Mike. Just going to be a delayed power. Unfortunately for Saskatchewan, this one's going to come back on a penalty. Offside on a receiver. That is unfortunate because what a run taken off of the board as Hawley was absolutely going downhill there, following the block and the puller from that under center. Just kind of power play from Saskatchewan. But if you're a Manitoba fan, that's the flag you want to see. Maybe this is what backs them up and throws off that timing. Going to be 1st and 15 here for Team Saskatchewan.
Discipline. I talked to a few coaches before this game, and that was going to be one of the things that could make or break this one. And Saskatchewan takes a tough penalty there, setting them up with 1st down and long. That quarterback is Braden Marwick under center. I'm going to wager to guess he's related to Jaden Marwick, as that one is taken for solid yardage up past the 1st down, close to the 40-yard line. Hauled in by Dylan Ward, who had the touchdown earlier on in this game to open the scoring for Saskatchewan.
Fantastic play call from the offensive coordinator for Saskatchewan there. Going to be that under center look. All they've done is run out of that look so far. They show the power play to the strong side of the field, get a couple of offensive linemen pulling back against the grain. Going to throw that screen out to the wide side receiver there, get him in space. Going to gain about 27, 1st down here for Saskatchewan.
Spectacular blocking downfield by Kaimani Forsyth is what gave him the room on that play. 1st down, another solid gain on 1st down, still going, refusing to be taken down until he moves the chains. And that thunder lightning from Manitoba, you also see it with Saskatchewan as Ashton Humfan gets a 1st down. Lucas Hawley has also shown his speed for Saskatchewan. This ball now at the Manitoba 50.
Just a great drive once again here from Saskatchewan. Extremely balanced on offense right now. A great mix of run, a great mix of pass, a great mix of under center and shotgun. You don't see a lot of under center offense anymore in this day and age of Canadian football, but Saskatchewan's showing it's still very viable.
Trips to the strong side. It's going to be a handoff, and again there's room on that off-tackle play. 1st down, no penalties this time. Still on his feet, pushing forward is Lucas Hawley, all the way inside the Manitoba 30.
Well, if any of you viewers are watching that first game this afternoon between Alberta and BC, you saw an absolute wrecking ball in the backfield for Team Alberta. Well, Team Saskatchewan came to this field here in southern Manitoba and said, watch this. It don't matter who's running the ball right now for Saskatchewan. They are on the move. Good, patient running backs waiting for their blocks to develop. Shout out the big boys up front for Team Saskatchewan, moving bodies right now.
Marwick set up with the single back. Again, it's Hawley. There is a whistle blown.
Yeah, I think it's a blood issue or something with the Saskatchewan players getting sent off for an equipment situation here. Quick substitution. Safety
first as subbing off. Maddox Elise and Parker Thompson comes in for him at that wide out position.
Yeah, we'll see. Manitoba's got to make a play here. This drive for Saskatchewan has been nearly flawless, even with that penalty early.
Marwick. Back to pass. That one up and incomplete. Good defense there by number 41. Right in the area, Ranto Lucas Muhunazi. The intended target was Kaimani Forsyth.
Yeah, right on cue. Manitoba's defense steps up, gets a quarterback pressure, gets a quarterback hit after that ball's out. Good coverage there by the aforementioned defensive back there for Manitoba, as you'll see here on the replay. Great job of getting his hands up, making a play on the football. Going to be 2nd and 10. We'll see what's in store here for both the offense and defense.
Muhanazi, 6 foot 180 on a Vincent Massey Collegiate. 7 Trojans on this roster with their head coach Chris Blagden as well leading the troops, as that one from Marwick is complete. Great concentration. Parker Thompson gets Saskatchewan into the red zone.
Devon Jones out of the Oak Park Raiders football team had an absolute opportunity to send that ball back into the hands of Manitoba. Unfortunately, was unable to squeeze that interception. It's going to fall into the hands of the receiver. We'll get a good look here on the replay as he jumps that route, gets a piece, but all for naught, as Parker Thompson has the concentration and execution to move the chains there for Team Saskatchewan.
Devon Jones was in the area, but Parker Thompson said, "Not today." Misdirection. Room to the outside, trying to break away from one man. What a play! He's in the end zone! Holy Hannah! That is an incredible touchdown from Ashton Humfan, hurdling over a defender for 6.
Oh my word, Ashton Humfan, my goodness. Young man, look at this. Up and over 2 defenders, says, "I'ma get this 6. Watch me go." Great block there by 63. Gets just enough around the edge and whoop, whoop, up and over he goes. 6 points, Saskatchewan. Holy moly.
Ashton Humfan, 5'9", 210, but he's got the juice. He's got the hops. These Sask RBs are dogs out there.
Oh my, oh my. Does not matter who is carrying the rock right now for Saskatchewan. But when you go head over heels into the end zone, my, oh my, what a touchdown run, as there is a Manitoba defender down in the end zone. So we got a little bit of a delay here as the training staff is out to look at the young man. I'm not sure who it is. It's big number 81. Isaac Dewick out of Oak Park getting looked at. But here we go once again. Threes, stiff arm, boom, up, see ya. Tutty putting that one on the highlight reel. What a run there from the young man. Oh boy, Mike. Oh
Tyler,
boy.
just call it Ashton Airlines. Holy Christ. That was incredible.
What a run. Patience, physical, athletic. It is everything you want to see. As I believe, based on the crowd here, yeah, Dewick is up and walking off the field under his own power. But it is 20-0 Team Saskatchewan, pending the extra point here. Just under 6 minutes left in this second quarter. I said it in the first broadcast, Mike. This is a must-score drive here from Team Manitoba.
I certainly agree, Tyler. And I think the energy, too, is an important factor to keep in mind.
Yes.
From the very first kickoff, Saskatchewan's sideline was engaged. They were all together. They were just bringing each other up with that energy from that first tackle on the first kickoff, and they have not dropped that intensity right from the jump. And certainly when you see a player like that jump up in the air, hurdle a man when he's 5'9", 210, I mean... If you don't get jacked up by that, then you need to check your pulse.
My goodness, that's that highlight reel. That's that viral moment. You throw that stuff up on the internet and you let that one go. But that big man right there sent himself skyward, went head over heels, and got 6 for his team halfway through this second quarter of the Under-17 Western Challenge. Team Saskatchewan looks absolutely flawless here early in this football game.
5:57 to go here in the first half. And I want to go back, Tyler, to what I think was a really important play that shifted a little bit of momentum in the second quarter. Manitoba was moving the ball. Shea Kiasi making a couple big plays.
Yep.
Confidence was booming. And then a very, I would say, avoidable UR penalty on the Blake Dagg throw on the bounds on the miscommunication.
Yeah, hands to the face, right?
Yes, hands to the face, set Manitoba back. And it felt like that sort of flipped a little bit of energy in Saskatchewan, of course, going back the other way, capitalizing when they got the ball on offense.
Yeah, we talked about it in that first broadcast as well, Mike. Team BC was taking a lot of URs, a lot of silly penalties, right? A lot of stuff that'll cost you yards, cost you possessions, cost you momentum. And as you said there, if that's just a 2nd and 10 and not a 2nd and 25, it's a different play call out of the offensive coordinator. It's a maybe we go for it on third down. Instead, it's a punt, and then we'll see what happens here as Manitoba and AJ Bangura got a little bit of space here up the middle of the field. Going to get that ball right up to about the 35, the average field position for Blake Degg and the Manitoba offense.
Yeah, and you hear the Saskatchewan sideline screaming hit squad every single time that kickoff goes off the tee. And you'd like to see, I mean, on the Manitoba sideline, it's a little bit quieter. Score regardless. You want to see the guys lift each other up, keep each other in the game, keep that energy high. That can make a difference. All it takes is one or two big plays. This is a different ball game. Manitoba, important drive offensively.
Absolutely. Yeah, the bench is definitely not out of it by any means at the moment, Mike. But there is a visible difference between the Saskatchewan bench and the Manitoba bench right now.
Degg in the pistol formation. The single back is Malik Willie. He's going to get it to Bangura. Breaks away from one defender. Can't get away from the second. He's taken down by Hunter Kruger on that one. But I like the idea. Get it into Bangura's hands. His first grab of this game. Try to create some energy with your speed and your overall athletes out there. You've seen Kiasi get involved and now Bangura.
Absolutely, yeah. Get the ball out of Degg's hands early and do his best buddies, but bucket there in Bangura. Going to get about 4. Going to be 2nd and 6. So absolutely manageable here. Got to have some production here on 2nd down for this Manitoba offense.
Trips to the strong side. Pistol with Willie in the backfield. Degg calls for the ball. He's going to throw.
Got him.
Complete. It's AJ Bangura moving the chains up past the 50-yard line. And if those two can get into a rhythm, that is going to be best case scenario for Manitoba. The two longtime teammates from the St. James Rods program, they almost have that sixth sense, that intuition of where the other guy needs to be.
I was speaking with Alex Christie, the junior varsity running backs and offensive coordinator for the Oak Park Raiders, and my former teammate at Manitoba with the Bisons, and he was talking about AJ Bangura, saying this is the best athlete I have ever coached, I have ever seen. If Blake and AJ can get on the same page and get into a rhythm, that is something that Saskatchewan's going to have to stop and get in. As there's going to be a pressure look. There it is. Go ball.
Offside. There's a penalty.
There's a tutty.
There's a flag on the play for offside. It's a question of whether it was Manitoba or Saskatchewan, but I believe this play is coming back. As Bangura gets into the end zone, but the Saskatchewan coaching staff pointing down at the line of scrimmage, and it is offside Manitoba. That's tough. Those are the types of plays that change the ball game, Tyler.
100%, Mike. They're in a show look. They're in cover 0. You get the speedster on a go ball down the seam. Perfect placement. Bangura was gone right off the jump. Unfortunately, it's going to come back. Look for Manitoba to go back to that look, especially if Saskatchewan goes back to that show 7-man up front on defense. That is heartbreaking for Manitoba. Let's see if they can come back out of this. It's still first down. It's going to be 1st and 15. They got to back up. Blake's got to settle everything down here at quarterback. Reset. Short-term memory here as you get a good look at special teams coordinator, running backs coach Hudson Barabo for Team Manitoba.
Tyler, we talked about it off the top for this Manitoba team, that the connection between Blake Degg and AJ Bangura, which arguably one of the strongest of any team in this tournament, was going to be so important. Degg goes to Bangura on 3 consecutive plays on that drive. Keep him going. That's been working for Manitoba. We'll see what play call is drawn up here. Degg, another screen pass, breaking away from one defender and getting up close to that and past that original line of scrimmage. Xavier Malabar, another one of those Oak Park standouts. And I want to go back, Tyler, for a quick minute to what you talked about with Alex Christie. It's so important to have players with that type of experience coaching at the minor levels, helping develop the fundamentals. And yes, Alex Christie coached Blake and AJ at the minor football level with the St. James Rods, and they were like a well-oiled machine when you have a guy like that. Alex Christie set the school record for most blocked punts in a season.
Special teams
at
demon.
Manitoba. Degg, Willie in the backfield, and the pistol as the single back. 3 receivers trips to the strong side.
Time count.
Whistles blown. Time count violation.
Can't have it. You simply can't have it. It's an inexcusable penalty here. There's coach-to-player communications. They got to get that play in ASAP. Maybe, it might have been a bit of a quick count. Who knows? But you got to get that ball off. These are the momentum killers that Manitoba cannot have. Down 31 inside of 3 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. We'll see what the play call is here on 2nd and 12. You get a good chunk here. It's got to be 3-down territory from Manitoba.
Dag, back to pass.
Good protection. Yep.
Looking for a man just a little bit high, trying to locate.
Malabar? Nope.
Look, number 50. Well, couldn't be because, Everett Houlihan tried to find another Oak Park target that he's familiar with, just a little bit high. And like you said, Tyler, they're going for it here on 3rd.
Yeah, it didn't matter if they didn't get any yards. They're going for it anyway. I respect the play call. I think it's an appropriate situation here to gamble. You got to try at the minimum here, obviously, to get the first down. But you want to get points on the board before the break here if you're Manitoba. We'll see what the play call is here. They got ace weak. Bangura's got single coverage to the wide side of the field in that slot. They're going to get a bit of a pressure look. Oh, it's going to be that quick kick again.
Punted away, fielded at the 35, and this man is dangerous. Hugh Ross, he already showed it on the last possession, and he gets up near the 50. Saskatchewan will take over with 2.5 minutes to go in the first half.
I don't know about that one, Mike. I get the change of pace reaction there, but they already ran that quick kick once in the first half. If you're going to line it up again, you got to do something different there. I think you gamble. I mean, it's a 10-yard difference in field position at the end of the day, so in my opinion, I think you just go for it there. But hey, I'm not in the booth for a reason. I'm not on this coaching staff for a reason. I just get to sit up here and talk about what I see. So we'll see what Saskatchewan can do if Manitoba can get a stop here before the break and keep this to a 3-possession football game.
Here's Marwick handing it off. Another solid gain on first down, and that's going to move the chains. Doesn't matter who's in the backfield, Tyler. Saskatchewan is efficient in the run game. Rhett Mikituk takes that one. And again, it's just this. It starts with that offensive line, and that is always the way that it's been for Saskatchewan. It starts with those Hoggies creating room and gaps for these athletic running backs.
Factory. From the Thunder to the Hilltops to the Rams and to the Huskies. It is an offensive line factory. You get those farm boys coming in at 6'3 plus, 300 plus. It don't matter. These boys can move, and you're seeing it from the 15-year-olds moving and winning that line of scrimmage. As once again, 1st and 10, 6 yards, Saskatchewan, 2nd and 4 on deck here as we creep inside of 2 minutes. Mike, this is vital that Manitoba keeps Saskatchewan in the end zone here.
This is a must-stop situation. Couldn't agree with you more, Tyler. This could make or break momentum going into the second half, and it doesn't have to be anything crazy.
Saskatchewan gets the ball, too.
Absolutely. They will start with the ball in the third quarter, and they've been controlling the time of possession, using that run game to their advantage. Marwick's been under center. Now he's in the pistol. Single back is Mikituk.
RPO.
He's going to fake on the RPO, and once again, we've called his name now many times. Aiden Yildiz once again getting a first down for Saskatchewan.
It's just the definition of efficiency. Inside zone, under center power, inside zone, RPO. Here's your slot back in the flats. Get him the ball in stride. Move the chains. It is impossible to stop when you have 3 or 4 different options off of the same look, off of the same formation, off of the same movement from that offensive line. This Saskatchewan offense is absolutely firing on all cylinders and showing why they are the 4-time champions.
Misdirection. Oh, lordy lord. That was impressive, Tyler, as once again, Rhett Mikituk gets the first down, but that was a heck of a block up front.
You and Pickering, oh boy, did you just absolutely decleat that Manitoba defender. You adjusted perfectly. My guy, I'm going to give you all the love in the world. It's coming back. Mike, it's coming back. Come on. As we're going to get a look here on the replay. Great job by 66. And oh, what a block, Pickering. I'm sorry, my guy. That one's coming back, but that hurts. That hurts.
My man, Tyler, former starting center for the Manitoba Bisons, 2014 Hardy Cup champs. He absolutely loves a pancake block in the booth.
So good.
Key play here, first down and 15 for Saskatchewan. Marwick's going to throw that one complete for the fourth time in this game. It's Aiden Yildiz making his mark.
Yeah, great job there. Just the play action, RPO look. Good job by the quarterback for Saskatchewan. Settling everything down from Marwick. Throwing that deep comeback to his best buddy right now at the moment. We'll get a good look on the replay. Comeback, good job getting that ball, getting vertical. Going to set up, I think, about 2nd and 2 here. So not quite quarterback wedge territory, but when Saskatchewan goes under center and hands that ball off for power, good things have happened. But they will be in the gun. Ace strong here. 3 of the receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Running back shaded to the quarterback's left hip.
Marwick is going to throw.
Wow.
Looking deep, and that one incomplete. Manitoba right in the right spot.
I'm going to go ahead and assume that was we're going to take a shot play so that we can run the ball here on 3rd down. There comes a big body in number 67 for Team Saskatchewan, and number 22 is going to check in at running back. Zero hesitation to bring the specialists out here. If Manitoba can get a stop just north of 1 minute here, massive momentum shift here in this football game. This is a very, very, very big play here for both sides of the ball. Under center, going to be a wedge look as the offensive line is toe-to-toe. As we hear defensive coordinator Riley Francie screaming timeout to get the time. The officials had notice, as they do get that timeout in time. And the defense will adjust here. We'll see what the play call is coming from Manitoba's defensive coordinator in Riley Francie.
Saskatchewan, as you mentioned, Tyler, subbing in on that play. Big Rylan Lethbridge, 6'4", 250 on a limerick. He's a product of the Assiniboia Rockets program, and they have had some dogs come into that program at the line position. Most recently, Derek Bobian, who was an absolute stud at this tournament over the years for the 4-team Sask.
Absolutely, yeah. That's for 15 years old, that is a big body, and he moves very well for his size. We'll see what the play call is here. If Saskatchewan changes it up and gets away from that wedge look, or maybe they come out under center, run that power, run that play action boot, go in the gun, run that RPO. We'll see here what the play call is coming out from both sides of the ball here, as this is an absolutely crucial 3rd down with 65 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Tyler, you mentioned it, that these teams run the same systems from minor up, and you can see it. You can tell to run these RPOs the way they do, that is not easy to do. You have to have an extremely strong connection to be able to make those plays work, as that's going to be, you called it, right up through the heart of that Manitoba defense, still on his feet down to the 1-yard line. Have yourself a first half Lucas Hawley.
My goodness, I sound like a broken record at this point here, Mike, but boy, oh boy, is that offensive line for Saskatchewan absolutely dominating the defense in front for Manitoba. We're going to get a good look here on the replay, as that you can drive a Mack truck through that hole, and my goodness, does Deuce do himself a good job at moving his feet and getting the first down. Going to be 1st and goal. We'll see if we get the same look here from Saskatchewan.
Holly with the Marshawn Lynch truck at the 10-yard line for extra yards. They give it to him again. Why not?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, Mike. Run it right back. That's another touchdown for Holly. 27-0. Extra point pending. 39.2 on the clock here before the halftime break. This Saskatchewan offense just went perfect in the first half, Mike.
Tyler, I'm going to pinpoint 2 plays as being the difference so far in this first half between momentum being flipped.
Yep.
One, of course, was the hands to the face when Manitoba was in Saskatchewan territory.
Yep.
The second was the offside on the touchdown throw to A.J. Bangura.
100%.
Those 2 plays, you take those out, we might have ourselves a much closer game.
Could be 14-7, could be 14-14. right? Like, it's a completely different football game, 100%, Mike. That's the stuff that Manitoba just cannot afford to do. BC did it in the first game over and over again. They had the UR penalties over and over again. They had the miscommunications on offense. Yeah, Manitoba's offense has been able to move the ball, but you take that UR hands to the face. You jump early at the receiver position, and those things are just crippling to this Manitoba team right now. There's a little bit of time left here in this first half. We'll see if Manitoba can get a good return out of either Nikasi or Bangura in the backfield here. But yeah, Mike, it's a tough look right now coming from the side of Manitoba.
Kiasi and Bangura have both been lethal when the ball has been in their hands. Blake Dagg has done a good job controlling this offense. Discipline has been a concern at times. We'll see if Manitoba can get everything together, rally their squad, and get a score before the end of the first half. It's going to be Bangura once again backed up to his 8-yard line. Brings it upfield, gets away from the first pressure, still on his feet. A.J. Bangura past the 40, but there's a late flag. And this one is likely going to be coming back.
Yeah, we'll see what the flag is. Great return there by Bangura. Unfortunately, if this is another self-inflicted wound from Manitoba, I can already predict what Coach Blagden's speech will be at the half when the boys get to the locker room downstairs here at St. Mattel Mustangs Field. But this one is going to come back against the Manitoba team for 10 yards. It's going to be a clip on Manitoba's number 82, Florian. It's the penalties you just can't have, Mike. We're kind of a broken record here over the last handful of minutes, but it's stuff that you can't continuously shoot yourself in the foot in a tournament like this. It's a 2-game tournament. You win, you're in. You lose, you're playing for bronze, right? So we'll see what Dagg has in store here with just north of 30 seconds remaining here in the first half, scrimmaging from his own 30.
Dagg sets up the offense. Pistol formation. Willie in the backfield.
What is he throwing? What?
Flag on the play.
It's an offside on Manitoba. I'm not quite sure how, considering the ball wasn't snapped yet. Okay. You got anything about that one?
I would never criticize the refs, so I'm not going to say anything.
I'm just a little confused because typically the receiver will check in with the official. He'll tell him to back up, so maybe he told him to back up and he didn't, but at the minimum, you wait until the ball is snapped there typically, but nonetheless, it's going to be 1st and 15, another self-inflicted wound from the Manitoba offense. I'm a little bamboozled by that one. Like,
nonetheless, here's Willie, nowhere to go, taken down in the backfield, stuffed. Big stop there from Saskatchewan, number 38, Liam DeFos Kaliniuk.
Change of direction, counterplay here. The Manitoba offensive line had a bust. It looked like that was the first off-color defender there for Saskatchewan, and he was completely unaccounted for. As I get a good look here on the replay, you'll see 3-8 come in and just absolutely do his job and make that tackle in the backfield. We'll see what Manitoba comes out here on 2nd and a kilometer. It's about 20 yards for the Manitoba offense. They got to get to their 40 as we tick inside 5 seconds. They may just kneel on this.
This will be the last play of the first half. Dagg with Willie in the backfield. He's going to fake the handoff, try to roll to his left, gets away from one man, gets away from 2 man, and then gets taken to the ground. The Saskatchewan front says no. Stuff on that one by Wyatt Senek. We'll go to the half. Team Sask up 28-0 as they look to make it back to the gold medal game, Tyler, and defend their gold medal for a 5th consecutive season. Looking good right now.
They're doing absolutely everything right, Mike. We'll see what comes out of this halftime break for Team Manitoba. If they can flip this momentum coming out of the second half, we'll see what happens. It's catching about 15.
Yeah, I want to walk around for the
Alright, I'll be down there in a minute. Actually, I'm coming down right now. Yo. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's quick. It's way quicker than the other game. There wasn't much penalty. Last game there was We'll be fine, you're not gonna die. Damn, Sam's already gone, eh? Saskatchewan, Steve. Get second half.
Back here at the U16 Western Challenge live on Football Canada's YouTube page. Mike Still and 2014 Hardy Cup champion Tyler Fabry with you on the call. Game 2 of the Western Challenge between Team Saskatchewan, the 4-time defending champions, and Manitoba. If you're just joining us, Team Sask up 28-0 at the break, and it's been balanced, Tyler. 114 yards rushing in the first half for Sask. 114 rushing, 107 yards passing for a 221 yards of net offense, 8 of 11, only 3 incompletions. And the big one here, Tyler, only 2 penalties for 10 yards for Saskatchewan, 6 penalties for 50 yards for Manitoba, and 2 of them cost the team big time. One was on a touchdown to A.J. Bangura that was called back on an offside, and the second one moved them back outside of Saskatchewan, deep into Saskatchewan territory on a hands to the face penalty.
Yeah, just those self-inflicted wounds are what you cannot have from the Manitoba sideline here. It could be a completely different football game, Mike. As you said there, Saskatchewan has been nearly picture perfect on offense. 3 incompletions, 100+ receiving, 100+ rushing. Manitoba's defense has to make some adjustments. We'll see what they were coming out of the halftime break. Saskatchewan's getting the ball to start this second half. A 2-and-out here for Team Manitoba on the defensive side is absolutely vital if they want to have any chance of getting back into this football game.
Lucas Hawley leading the way on the ground, 5 carries for 65 yards and that incredible touchdown where he leaped over a Manitoba defender to reach pay dirt. And Ashton Humpan adding 5 carries for 43 yards. So they've done the bulk of the work for Team Sask. For Manitoba offensively, it's been A.J. Bangura and Shea Kiasi getting it done. A lot of those plays have come on screen passes. Bangura had a couple other receptions.
There you go.
Good connection with starting quarterback Blake Dagg.
There you go. There you go.
Onside kick, and it's successful. Team Toba. Great way to start the third. Picture perfect, Tyler.
Took the words right out of my mouth there, Mike. That was an absolutely flawless execution and a near perfect bounce to just sit right on that 45, 46 yard line. Great job by the Manitoba kick cover team, as we'll get a fantastic look here on the replay. Ball's placed perfectly behind the up back, and then there it just sat right in front. Take a shot to the end zone.
You can't draw it up any better than that. That was spectacular from
Flawless.
the Team Toba special teams unit.
Hudson Barabo, attaboy, what a play call.
Blake Dagg starts this drive at the Saskatchewan 45. Handoff. Short gain. Team Sask smothers up that run play, and that's really been one of the other big stories. Penalties and the run game. Saskatchewan has held Manitoba in this contest to just 17 yards rushing total.
I was going to say less than 50, but yeah, less than 20 is that's a tough look. But yeah, I mean, it's a safe play call. I don't mind it. I think I would have preferred if Manitoba would have went to the air there, but we'll see what happens here. 2nd and 7.5, 2nd and 8 here for Blake Dagg. 3 receivers to the strong side right, 2 to the left.
Dagg feels pressure, steps up, he can take it.
Shoulders.
He's got that capability up near the first down, and I like the move there from Dagg. No hesitation. He felt that pressure, immediately stepped up and looked to get positive yards.
Great job there by Blake Dagg. Didn't see it right away. Went through his read progression. Couple guys weren't open. Said, you know what? I got feet. I got wheels. I'm going to take off. Give it a little head and shoulders. Going to be about 3rd and a yard. Or unless they measure this.
Looks like
it's going to be about 3rd and
less
than a yard here for the Manitoba offense.
Critical play for this Toba offense.
Yeah, they only got to move about half a yard, if that, here to get the ball across the 36-yard line. Excuse me. They got to move about the length of the football here, Mike. But we are in the gun on 3rd down. If they quick kick this, I might lose my mind.
Dagg in the pistol. Low snap.
Oh, get out.
He's trying to evade pressure and does. Blake Dagg trying to find the corner. Can he get there for a first down? Yes, he can. Blake Dagg.
Put the team on your back, young fella. Low snap adjustment. Said, I'm going to take this. I'm going to get around the edge. I'm going to do this myself. Great job there by Dagg to get the first down. Move those chains. Get the ball into Saskatchewan territory. 1st and 10, Manitoba. 31-yard line, as you get a great look here on the replay. Dagg coming around the corner, takes a pop and goes horizontal out the sideline, excuse me.
Sask has rolled with 2 quarterbacks in this game, Xavier Gatton as well as Braden Marwick, but for Manitoba, it is Blake Dagg. This is his team, this is his offense, and he made a play there for Manitoba. Once again, he feels pressure, and Sask gets to him this time.
Gonna be close. Probably a sack, maybe about a half a yard loss there. Protection kind of broke down. Inside moves from the defensive end, is able to collapse the pocket. As we'll get a look here on the replay, Dag does what he can to try to get anything positive. And we are not going to have a replay on that one, unfortunately. It's going to be second and about 10 and a half, close to 11 here for the Manitoba offense. We'll see if it's 3-down territory or not. But this second down play is absolutely huge for Blake Dag. Maybe go back to Bangura here as he is lined up to the field side left of Dag.
Carson Wolf coming in to make that, to record that sack. Dag rolling to his left. Again, he's going to try and find the edge, taken down before he can get to the first down marker. Preston Epp out of St. Joseph, the St. Joseph Guardians program in Saskatoon says, no. Third down for Manitoba, and they're going to go for it again.
That's a great tackle by Epp, Mike. As you see, Blake Dag obviously has the speed, but the defensive lineman from Saskatchewan closes in a hurry and limits that gain to about 5, maybe 6. It's going to be 3rd and 6 here for Manitoba. Very, very, very important down.
You can tell that Epp doesn't miss speed training, as that one is complete. A.J. Bangura moving the chains, and the OP connection is strong.
Yeah, that pressure look once again from the Saskatchewan team. Going to be 7 up, cover 0. Quick sit route from Bangura to the short side left of Dag. Good timing route. These kids have been playing pitch and catch for a lot of years here, as it's a very well executed off coverage from Saskatchewan. Manitoba first down inside the 20-yard line. First time inside the red zone here for this Manitoba offense.
Blake Dag went 31-0 at the minor football level. That is ridiculous. And now he's showing out at the U16 level as that pass goes incomplete. Great coverage in the secondary.
Blake Dag was also the under-16 flag quarterback, and I could be wrong here, but it was something ridiculous, like 42 touchdowns and 2 interceptions at that tournament. It was absolutely outstanding. The timing curl route there, just going to fall incomplete. Ball was on target. Going to be a drop. Going to be 2nd and 10 here for the Manitoba offense. We'll see if they stick with the air or let Blake check down to his feet once again. Time will tell.
Dag back to pass.
There it is.
Rolls to his left. He's got pressure, and he's going to be taken down. Malik King sack in the first half and making his name known again here in the third.
Fantastic job there by King to close in a hurry. We've seen it time in and time out here on this drive. Blake Dag checking down to his feet and able to evade 1, 2, or 3 different Saskatchewan defenders. But King says, nuh-uh, not on this one. 3rd and about 12 and a half yards for this Manitoba offense, who has already converted on 3rd down a couple times here on this possession. Coming out of the break with the onside kick. You love to see points if they can convert.
Shout out Moose Jaw. I was born there. They got some dogs. Blake Dag gets away from initial pressure, but he can't evade the second wave.
There is a flag on the far side of the field. I'm not sure what it's going to be.
We'll wait for the call. Moose Jaw Central Cyclones really showing out. That first touchdown was from Dylan Ward under that program,
yes.
And of course Malik King now with multiple big plays.
Offside on the Manitoba receiving core. I'm going to go ahead and assume they're going to decline that, take the turnover on downs. So a 6-minute possession coming out of the break for Team Manitoba off that onside kick is going to result in no points. That hurts.
Preston Epp with his second big tackle on that drive. And for a man that's 6 foot 170, incredible athleticism, that tackle for a loss when Dag was rolling to his left was incredible. That
Wild.
speed was nuts.
That close was
coming from that
insane.
Defensive end position. And like you mentioned, Tyler, chewing up over half the clock in the third quarter, but coming away with no points. That's tough to swallow if you're Manitoba. Saskatchewan back on here for their first drive of the second half. Once again, using the run game to their advantage, busting away, and he could be gone. Breaking away from first contact. Can anybody get there? Yes, eventually taken down at the 26-yard line. Huge gain for Rhett Mikatuk.
What a run for Mikatok. My goodness. 2 hands on the football until he cleared the 3rd level of defenders for that Manitoba defense. Downhill power run. Saskatchewan's offense is firing on all cylinders.
How about the next level speed from Mikatok, breezing past 5 Toba defenders all the way deep into Manitoba territory. This run game is on fire for Sask, already over 100 in the first half, adding to it there. Rolling now to his right, looking for a receiver. He's got one. Touchdown, Saskatchewan. That is Parker Thompson under the Johnson Wildcats program on a dime from Xavier Gatton.
I mean, if you're from Saskatchewan, like, this is unbelievable. I'm a broken record right now, but this offense is just, it's flawless. The inside zone, the power, the run play, the chunk play, and then you set up the RPO. You get the wheel route out of your slot back, and he is free and clear as soon as he turns the corner. Nobody within 5-6 yards of him. Dot from the quarterback. Flawless execution. 2-play touchdown drive from the Saskatchewan team here coming out of the 3rd quarter.
Excuse me, that was Kieran McCullough as I jumped the gun there, but that was an incredible throw. What a play by Saskatchewan. Quick strike on offense, and they respond very, very early on that first drive. Huge gain on the ground, which has been the bread and butter for this team, and it sets up another touchdown through the air. Xavier Gatton showing off the arm strength. Kieran McCullough showing off the speed, and Saskatchewan adds to their lead.
So Manitoba comes out, opens up the 3rd quarter, onside kick, recovers, goes 6 minutes, moves the ball about 30, 40 yards, turnover on downs. Saskatchewan comes out, says, watch this. 1:10 and 2 plays later, 6 points. Saskatchewan, 35-0. Full control are the team from the province out west in the green and white. Oh boy.
The 4-time champs
showing why.
enacting their will here at St. Vital Mustangs Field as we are in run time at 35-0 for Saskatchewan. Low kick. Manitoba jumps on that one at the 36.
I mean, good job there by the up backer, just falling on it to limit the damage there. Just get the ball, get your offense on the field. The CF tag, there's going to be a flag. There's a flag here sitting at the 45. This is in the territory of offside on the kicking team. And it's probably gonna, if I was to guess, it's gonna result in a re-kick, but we'll see what the decision here is from the 5 yards. Will be applied at the end of the run, so this will move the ball up to the Manitoba 41-yard line. Gonna scrimmage 1st and 10. And yeah, we'll see what Blake Dagg and the offense has in store here as we have a quarterback change.
Coming into the game for the first time for Manitoba, Owen Goodmanson under the Miles Mack Buckeyes. He's got a really nice ball as well. Accurate arm, and he'll get a chance to show it on that swing pass to Bangura, but there was nothing doing. Saskatchewan read that one perfectly as Manitoba has tried that screen a few different times in this game, and the DBs from Saskatchewan were right where they needed to be, Tyler.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's almost worth stopping explaining at this point. I know I obviously can't do that because that's my job up here, but Saskatchewan's team defense has just been phenomenal. From limiting Dagg on that last possession, getting that turnover on downs, the team speed that Saskatchewan is exhibiting, and there's just the form tackling and execution all the way around. Great job here by the Saskatchewan staff for getting these young men ready to go.
Goodmanson. Fly sweep, Bangura takes it. He's got room upfield. Bangura still on his feet. That's going to be a first down for Toba. AJ Bangura has had a great game for Team Manitoba.
Yeah, absolutely. AJ Bangura is a weapon, and you can see why. The young man has some absolute speed and moves to come behind it. Great job of not taking the clipping penalty there by number 20 from Manitoba, and Bangura just makes a couple guys miss, falls forward, moves the chains for his offense. Good job here to move the chains by Manitoba on this possession.
Goodmanson in the pistol. Single back for Manitoba. Takes it up 3 or 4 yards on that one. Still moving forward, Malik Willie.
Yeah, just an inside zone play there, just trying to get positive yards. Manitoba looking to build and get into the end zone before the conclusion of this football game to get in preparation for their game on Saturday. Obviously, this game is not over, and Manitoba could absolutely come back and win this one. But obviously starts with a touchdown. We'll see if they can get into the end zone on this possession as this clock continues to run here, as the mercy rule is indeed in effect. Ticking inside of 90 seconds here. 3 receivers to the short side right, 2 to the wide side left. Going to be an inside zone play once again. Going to be enough to move the chains. Manitoba doing a good job here on this possession of staying balanced and getting first downs.
Willie right up the middle, and we talked about that right off the top, Tyler, that this is a thunder and lightning backfield for Manitoba, and both backs have been able to showcase their skills. Willie is the lightning, or excuse me, he's the thunder of those two, capable of turning any run into a big play, gashing it right up the gut. We've got a Saskatchewan player down.
So yeah, as we have an opportunity here, just want to give a shout out to the Manitoba staff water boy, Wyatt, doing a great job of keeping the boys hydrated. I said at halftime I'd give him a shout out on the broadcast. So Wyatt, you're doing a great job, my guy. Keep it up. Keep those boys well hydrated.
Also, while we have an opportunity, thanks some of our sponsors. Of course, the Winnipeg Football Club, proud supporters of amateur football in the province. Their continued investment in youth development and grassroots football makes opportunities like this possible for the next generation of athletes. They do so much, from the U16 and U18 blue and gold showcases to the helmets they donate, everything in between, giving a lot of athletes the opportunity and the platform to succeed. Shout out as well to the Winnipeg Rifles Junior Football Club, proud members of the CGFL. They continue to inspire the next generation of athletes. We're honored to have their support. As Goodmanson, that one is tipped and caught off the tip.
I mean, if it works, it works, right? I don't know if that was intended for Bangura or not, but he ended up getting a hand on it, and it was a great heads-up play there by Bryce Anderson, the receiver out of Vincent Massey, to bring that one in and get a positive gain for Team Manitoba, as we'll get a look here on the replay. Going to go off Bangura's hands and fall right into the awaiting arms of Anderson. Going to set up 2nd and 4 after the gain of 6.
Goodmanson with Willie in the backfield in the pistol. Trips to the strong side. Sask again lining up in that 30 front. They're going to bring pressure.
Dead. That
one up and incomplete. No, thank you. Broken up by Hunter Kruger out of Prince Albert, the Prince Albert St. Mary's Marauders program.
Yeah, just the timing out, and there's going to be another offside on Manitoba. I didn't see the indication, but it's going to be something on Manitoba. Yeah, it's going to be another offside on the Manitoba receiving corps. These are inexcusable at this point. The Saskatchewan bench is waving it off. It's going to be 3rd and about 5. 4.5, 5, as this will be the last play of the 3rd quarter for the Manitoba offense. We'll see what the play call is here, if Manitoba can indeed move the chains, as they've done a good job here on this possession of continuing to stay balanced and moving the ball, but this is obviously a vital down.
Goodmanson, single back once again is Willie, back to pass.
There you go.
Complete to Kiasi, breaks away from 2 defenders, stays on his feet all the way down inside the 25. And Tyler, this Manitoba offense has clicked. They have moved the chains. They have been very efficient. They've just struggled with a few tough penalties at certain times in this game.
Yeah, it's those self-inflicted wounds, Mike. That's exactly it. The touchdown coming off the board from the receiver offside. The 15-yard UR for hands to the face that backed him out of field goal range, out of the red zone, right? The continuous 3, 4, 5, 6 offensive receiver offsides that Manitoba has taken. They've only given up a couple of sacks. The offensive line has done a good job against this pressure unit, this show defense that Saskatchewan has been showing. But yeah, just haven't been enough to finish out and close drives. We'll see what the play call is here coming into the 4th quarter. Manitoba wants to get on the board. You got to get a touchdown here. You got to get some momentum moving into Saturday's game, right? You want to be able to build off of something. And this is a great drive. They're creeping in onto red zone territory here. Going to be scrimmaging from the 24-yard line coming out of the quarter break. Great job here by Gudmundsson at coming in off of the bench after 2.5 quarters of sitting around, and has done a great job on this possession of continuing to get first downs.
Talked about it at the start of the second half, but 6 penalties for 50 yards for Manitoba going into the third, and just can't have that happen when you're playing against a team like Sask that doesn't take a lot of penalties on there. And Gudmundsson looking to throw. Now he's got pressure in his face. He's going to get it up and throw that one out of bounds.
The entire Saskatchewan bench wanted that one to be intercepted. Unfortunately, obviously, the safe play made by the defensive secondary player there for Saskatchewan as that ball was drifting out of bounds a little bit. Gonna live to see another down. We'll get a good look here on the replay as Gudmundsson was rolling out. Does a good job of getting his hips turned around. That ball is free and clear of out of bounds. And the Saskatchewan defender there, number 54, I think, was the one who got the PBU on that one when it's all said and done.
Gudmundsson with Willie in the backfield. Trips to the strong side. He's going to look that way. Caught by Bangura. Gets away from one defender. Moves forward down near the 15, probably close. The 16-yard line.
He might be nicked. It's going to be about 3rd and 2 as Bangura is going to stay down. The training staff will have to come out and take a look at AJ as he is in some discomfort. We're not sure what's going on exactly. It's going to be, not a favorable spot for Manitoba. It's going to be 3rd and 3 here for the Manitoba offense.
Could be a cramp.
Absolutely.
At this point. Bangura's played the entire game. He's been the most targeted receiver on the field for either team in this game. Yeah,
you could be spot on with that one, Mike, as it is warm here in Manitoba, in Winnipeg, on the turf in southern Winnipeg. Scales were tipping close to 30 degrees. You add a few more degrees for the field, a few more degrees for the humidity. Yeah, I mean, you got to make sure you're hydrated. As he had a great look there at Manitoba's water boy in Wyatt, making sure the boys are hydrated, as I just mentioned, as Bangura continues to get looked at by the Manitoba athletic therapist.
While we have the chance, more sponsor shout-outs here. Executive Sports Apparel, official merchandise supplier. Thanks to them, the event gear looks sharp, represents all teams in style. Also, thank you to Ventry Tours and Red River Valley Charter Services, designated airport transportation partners. As we see all of the sponsors that have contributed to this tournament, your support behind the scenes and in the public eye keeps everything running and on time and on track. So thanks again to all sponsors of this tournament. Without your support, events like this are not possible. Gudmundsson fakes the handoff. He's got a man right in his kitchen. Throws that one up incomplete. No time to think about that as Liam DeFos-Kaliniak was laying down the boom.
And it looks like, that was a turnover. That was 3rd down, yeah. An unfortunate conclusion to that drive by Gudmundsson. He did a great job moving the ball downfield. It's going to result in another turnover for this Manitoba defense. Just a tough look there. The offensive tackle got beat. That whiff motion was not quite there. The ball was a little high and away. Saskatchewan's going to take over on downs, ticking inside of 10 minutes remaining on this football game.
Handoff. Another solid gain on 1st down right near the 1st down marker. Probably going to be about a yard short. Churning upfield, Maddox Flores, as Saskatchewan continues to showcase a versatile backfield and a very strong run game led by those big boys, Tyler, up front.
Yeah, I'm gonna play fortune teller here, and I'm gonna jump ahead to Saturday, and I am looking forward to Alberta and Saskatchewan playing for gold. These two teams, obviously, if you tuned into the earlier game this afternoon, Alberta was dominant in all 3 facets, and we're seeing a very, very similar situation here. Saskatchewan has been dominating the line.
Oh my God! What a catch! Holy goodness me! In traffic, sorry to cut you off.
No, do that.
Jack
for sure.
Ducart, how you doing?
Holy moly!
What
indeed.
a play! Show him how it's done, young man.
Let's see on the replay here up in the booth. What an absolute snag. We'll get a good look here from the booth.
Nice ball as well there from Xavier Gatton, but look at this catch with a man all over him. Exceptional concentration. What a catch by Jack Ducart.
Go up and high point that football, young man. What a football play. Another highlight reel play from this Saskatchewan offense as there is a Manitoba defensive lineman shaken up. He's looking to have a lower leg and asking for a couple boys to come help him out off the field here as he's got, yeah, who knows if it's a cramp or not, but let's see this. Oh my goodness, what a catch by the young man.
And a great ball as well by Gatton, leading his receiver right in stride, tight spiral. Whoo, these Sask boys are showing out here at St. Vital Mustangs Field. Fourth quarter, up by 35, and they're still rolling, still executing. They're not taking their foot off the gas pedal, Tyler.
No, you can't. It's a two-game tournament, right, Mike? You want to execute as the highest level that you physically can do here, and if Saskatchewan can put the ball in the end zone one more time, two more times, they're going to absolutely try to do that, right? You want to put up as many points as you possibly can here.
Gatton finds a man, room to run there, taken down in open field. Great play made by Oliver Kendall on a Dakota.
Very good tackle by the corner there.
There's a lot of room on that one for Kamani Forsyth if that tackle was not made by Kendall. And Forsyth, pretty big body out there too at 5'10". Kendall clocking in at 5'5". No problem for him on that play.
Miscommunication here as the offensive coordinator, offensive staff from Team Saskatchewan screaming for the timeout here on 2nd and 4. Not sure if it was a play call issue or a personnel issue, but nonetheless going to take the timeout, going to reset, going to get the boys back in the huddle, get the play call in from the bench as we're going to have 8 minutes and 11 seconds remaining here in this fourth quarter. 2nd and 4 for Saskatchewan, scrimmaging from the Manitoba 40-yard line. The defensive line coach for Team Manitoba, Shaquille Armstrong, is having a conversation with the line judge here. I'm not sure what exactly he's upset about, but he is not happy.
I think he wants to have a conversation with the official.
He is not happy.
As this one is handed off, finding space,
gonna be enough.
Moving the chains. As Saskatchewan continues to plow forward, well over 200 yards, Tyler, on the ground now in this game.
They've just been so balanced from the start, from the first possession of this football game for Team Saskatchewan. Great mix of run and pass, probably right close to 50-50 in terms of play calling as well. But yeah, just it doesn't matter who's carrying the rock for them in the backfield. The big boys up front are doing exactly what they need to do, creating a lot of real estate for their running backs.
Braden Marwick looks to be offside on Saskatchewan. That one is caught. Great concentration from Kamani Forsyth. We do have a flag. It will be offside.
I think if it is on Team Saskatchewan, I think you got to decline this. Take the 2nd and 10.
It's on Manitoba.
They're gonna say it's on the defensive end for Manitoba, so that'll actually move it up 1st and 5. Going to be scrimmaging from about the 29-yard line after it's all said and done.
We're just churning through this second half, Tyler, in run time here.
Yeah, I mean, when it gets into that mercy roll effect, my clock moves a whole lot quicker for sure, right? We have a chance for this game to end under 2 hours, which is wild to think about. But Saskatchewan top to bottom, flawless performance here. Very, very good job on offense. Very, very good job on defense. Special teams have not been much of a factor here this evening, but as we get the snap for Team Saskatchewan, going to run that quick sit-down route. Going to be enough to move the chains, I believe, from our vantage point. It looks like that's going to be enough for a first down. Once again, laundry on the field in the territory of offside.
I don't know if Rick Hangwich intended to do this, but he just flashed me the players of the game with his hand, so I can give those to you. early before we even finish the contest.
Let's let it happen organically, Mike. We'll let the live chat take a guess as to who the players of the game will be for this one. Unfortunately, we don't have access to the live chat, so I'm just kind of speaking to nothing at the moment. But it's going to be 1st and 10 redo, as it was indeed an offside on Saskatchewan's receiving core. So we'll run it back again. We got 5.5 minutes left in this football game.
Thanks again as well to everyone that tuned in to watch and support amateur football in this province. Of course, these games, a fee associated with them. So thank you for your support of amateur football. Going deep, that one's incomplete. Brinley Dice was the intended target.
I don't hate that decision here from the Saskatchewan quarterback. Take the shot, see if you can catch the Manitoba defensive secondary napping a little bit. Ball was a little bit outside and away from the intended target. But once again, as I mentioned there, I don't hate that play call from the Saskatchewan team.
Second and 10 here for Team Sask.
Take under 5 minutes.
Braden Marwick with the single back. Rhett Mikatuk. He's going to fake the handoff, roll to his right. Again, he's going to get that one to Kimani Forsyth. Holding on Saskatchewan is the penalty.
The Team Saskatchewan bench not super impressed with that penalty. But nonetheless, it's going to be backing him up to 2nd and 20 here. It's going to be, you kind of see it at the bottom corner of your screen there. The hold, I believe, is going to be on number 31. It's been rare. Saskatchewan has been very well disciplined. A couple more penalties here on this possession, as there's been the hold. There's been an offensive offside mixed in, but for the most part, this team has been absolutely flawless here this evening, Mike.
Certainly, there have been few errors, well-oiled machine, and that's why they're the 4-time champs.
Yeah.
4 minutes away from going back to the gold medal game for a rematch with Alberta. Last year's game tightly contested, 18-15, as Mikatuk moves forward on 2nd and long.
I mean, why not? Run the ball. It's working for you all day. You're going to get about 12 and a half, 13 yards there on 2nd and 20. Not even a hesitation to bring out the specialists here, as we're just south of 3.5 minutes left in this football game. There's no reason why you don't gamble on this one.
Marwick, 3 receivers to the short side. He's got single back beside him. He's going to pass. That one is complete.
That's not going to be enough.
Short of the first down. So that Toba defense holds tight. Reception made by Maddox Elise. As we hit the 3-minute warning at St. Vital Mustangs Field.
It's going to be a turnover and downs here for Manitoba. So a little bit of a bright spot moving into the Saturday bronze medal game for this team. We are just south of 3 minutes left in this football game, as we'll get another offensive possession here coming from Manitoba, as Gudmundsson is back under center for Team Manitoba here.
Gudmundsson going to ride this one out for Team Manitoba. He's had some positive possessions here for his side, as that one's handed off, breaking away from the first defender. Still on his feet, William Anderson out of the St. James Rods.
A good run there by the young man from St. James. Does a good job of making a couple guys miss there from the Team Saskatchewan defense, as this game will tick inside of 2 minutes at the next snap of this football.
And Tyler, as we creep towards the end of day one, just overall thoughts on the first round of action here at the U16 Western Challenge.
I mean, we've seen a couple of blowouts, right? But it's going to set up for an absolutely monumental football game on Saturday afternoon between Saskatchewan and Fumble on the play. What a hit by the they're going to say incomplete pass there. What a hit by the Team Saskatchewan linebacker at number 41. But yeah, two very dominant programs in Alberta and Saskatchewan respectively, as we've seen here this afternoon, pitching 2 shutouts. Manitoba and BC obviously have stuff they can build off of, and that could be an absolutely good football game in its own right, playing for that bronze medal here on Saturday morning. I think we're going to get two more so competitive football games this weekend, Mike, between 2 more balanced teams when Manitoba faces BC and Saskatchewan faces Alberta. But yeah, it's kind of, you can kind of see it as this game concludes here that Saskatchewan is indeed an absolute powerhouse. And as we saw earlier this afternoon, Alberta is no slouch either. It is going to be an absolute great football game on Saturday afternoon playing for gold.
That was Malik King that came up to make that stuff, and goodness me, Tyler, if I had to make a prediction for player of the game on D for Sask, I'm probably going with him.
Yeah, 100%.
He had 2 sacks and just about a forced fumble there.
Yeah, he's been all over the place, pretty much unblockable from the Manitoba offensive side of the ball. But yeah, Malik King's had himself an afternoon. We'll see here. There's probably maybe 1 or 2 plays left in this football game. Likely going to be the last play of the game here, as this one will get snapped and knelt down.
Offensive player of the game, I'm going Xavier Gatton. He got things going for Sask right up off the jump.
100%.
And for Manitoba, I think A.J. Bangura is the obvious choice for offensive player of the game. Defense, you could kind of, there's probably a few different people you could.
23 had a pretty good game.
I'm going with Devon Jones.
Yeah, Devon Jones had a pretty good game as well. We'll see what the decision here coming from the booth beside us is, as this one will conclude 35-0. We will have a rematch for gold Saturday afternoon, St. Vital Mustangs Field. Team Saskatchewan and Team Alberta, and that's going to be a good football game, Mike.
Boy, will it ever be. Like you mentioned, rematch with gold on the line. 2 teams that have shown off their physicality, their versatility, their tenacity, an absolute pleasure to call both of these games. Sensational football in Western Canada. The future is bright.
Yeah, absolutely. Some bright spots from the Manitoba team that we saw throughout this football game between Nikasi and Bangura, the couple other weapons on the offensive side of the ball. Unfortunate self-inflicted wounds and those penalties were costly to this Manitoba team. So they got a couple days. They can absolutely clean this up and make that a competitive football game, playing for third against Team BC on the weekend.
Just doing the handshake lineups here, and then we'll get to the players of the game for both sides.
I think we crossed that bridge already, Mike. I think our predictions are going to be relatively accurate. We'll see what the coaching staffs and the guys up here in the booth have decided as to who will receive those plaques and trophies respectively. But top to bottom, Saskatchewan's football team looked absolutely phenomenal here tonight. Great job, all facets of the football game. Manitoba got some work to do over the next couple of days, playing for bronze against BC on Saturday morning. We will see how that one shakes out. It should be 2 very competitive football games on Saturday, which is something we can absolutely look forward to. As the teams will line up respectively on their 45-yard lines as they await the awards for player of the game, defensive and offensive players of the game on both sides of the ball.
And Rick Hankiewicz going to give out those awards. Of course, longtime commissioner of the Winnipeg High School Football League. Coach at many levels in the province of Manitoba. Also give a quick shout out to our photographers that have been working super hard all day long. Dan Nordman, DGN Photos, doing a great job. And of course, the legend, Glenn Dixon, Photos by Fitz. Those 2 guys have just been tireless in their efforts at all levels of amateur football. Thank you for your contributions. Don't want that to go unnoticed.
Absolutely.
As a photographer myself, I appreciate the art, so anytime you can give love to the photographers,
we're going to give love to the photographers. Absolutely. As it will indeed be number 14 for Team Manitoba in Devon Jones, receiving the defensive player of the game, as Mike did indeed predict.
It's almost like I saw the piece of paper.
Hey, nobody remembers when you said that, Mike. Nobody remembers.
Devon Jones, defensive player of the game. And score aside here, there's just so much athleticism and talent from all these squads.
Right?
And it's a great chance for these players. This is for a lot of them, Tyler. This is their first opportunity to have exposure at this level.
Exactly.
To have this many 100%. Eyes on them playing at an interprovincial tournament.
Yeah.
And that is important in and of itself, no matter what the result.
Yeah, absolutely. As predicted there, again, AJ Bangura is going to receive the offensive player of the game for Team Manitoba. But yeah, just to conclude on that point, Mike, these are 15-year-old junior varsity football players, right? For a lot of them, this is their absolute first opportunity to see what teams from outside of their province have in store, outside of Winnipeg. For a lot of these guys from Manitoba, obviously Saskatchewan has Saskatoon and Regina, as we see number 88 receive the offensive player of the game award, I believe, unless that's 38. That's 38. My apologies.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say.
Yeah.
Kieran McCullough did have a touchdown in this game, but that is Liam DeFoss Kaliniak, the linebacker.
Yeah,
who gets that one
was all over the place for Team Saskatchewan's defense.
Shout out Malik King as well. He had a heck of a game.
Yes, he did.
He was fantastic. Set the tone on that first drive. And it is the quarterback, Xavier Gatin, who gets the Offensive Player of the Game award for Saskatchewan. Led those first few scoring drives, helped Saskatchewan get that healthy lead, and then it was off and running from there. And Tyler, with that being said, we're going to tune out from day one of the U16 Western Challenge. Your final thoughts?
Yeah, it's going to be an absolute bloodbath between Saskatchewan and Alberta. Two very, very, very well-coached programs. Two very, very high-level programs. It's going to be very good football here on Saturday. So we hope that you guys decide to tune in and listen to Mike and myself talk a little bit more about football on Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon as we bring you the bronze medal and gold medal games on Saturday live here from Winnipeg at St. Vital Mustangs Field.
See you Saturday.